Oh, there we go. Woo. So
All right.
yeah, there you
Unfamous
go.
Podcast. We got Jaren. Always tired from the couch, and he is joining us live.
Live
Or
in
they don't
in
say
not studio,
how; they say how many.
and they don't ask where; they just ask why.
So he's tired, but he's here,
What? I mean,
and they said that this is the 7th episode. So the number 7, lucky number 11. Let's go.
what's Spanish for 7?
7, 11, 12, no, 1, 2, 3, 14,
Cuatro.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Siete,
9,
7.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,
Oh, jeez.
16, 17, 18, 19,
I didn't know you were
20,
Spanish.
21, 22,
Oh,
23,
okay. Enough of
24,
that.
20.
Enough.
Well, you
No,
asked, man, so I was going. That's
I asked
that's
what
2 semesters of
7
Spanish
was.
for you there, right there. That's what I learned
I
in 2
asked what
semesters.
7 was. I didn't ask what
Siete.
the whole freaking. Oh, that was close.
Content's unavailable, so I'm not watching the game right now for some reason.
What?
So,
What are
well, it's
you?
saying unavailable.
It's on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's
It was
on
selecting.
Sportness. It's on 360.
No, it's trying to. It was trying to select the Winnipeg game there.
Ugh, nobody wants that shit. Are you behind
Any,
though?
I'm at 1734 right now.
That's like a full almost 20 seconds delay.
Yeah, well, I'm in Cowtown.
Did you hear? Oh, that was someone on Rogan was talking about, because I guess Rogan knows a couple people in Edmonton, probably like hunters or something, and
Joe?
yeah, and he was talking to 2 other comedians, and they were talking about how they went to a strip club in Calgary, and
Boudoir Rouge? Is that where they went? Throw toonies.
probably. Yeah,
Threw toonies at people.
they talked
How you have to
about
throw
how they
coins.
yeah, which is just he said that they're jerks because
That's the
they
problem in
asked.
Canada because the dollar bill is not.
I
It's a
know
coin.
you're not gonna throw fives all the time, but they said that like somebody asked like, "Well, you
Unless you're
didn't
high
heat up
roller.
like quarters though, did you?" Or like the toonies. I don't know. It's funny.
I like that.
But then they called it
That's just
a
good funny stuff.
cow town.
Well, I mean, if you're known for one thing, I guess you're either known for your strippers or you're known for something else. So
Strippers or cows
yeah, peelers or something else.
or dairy.
Could there be anything other than peelers to be known about? I don't know.
I don't know what you'd prefer.
Well, it's not what you're known for isn't really what you prefer to be known for. It's just what ends up happening being the thing, right? So
That is very true. How's the
man,
audio sound coming through on the on the old pods here?
it's actually not bad. I was watching a couple of the older videos and like the sound's a little bit odd. So I don't know if it's just my microphone. It sounds a little echoey in the recording, but it's kind of on and off.
Hmm.
Who knows? But yours has never really had a trouble. So
Well, it's probably something you're doing with that board, and probably just something echoing.
well, I read
around
the
in that.
instructions for the board and it actually makes sense. So
Hmm.
I'm a professional now. It's just that this mic is cheap AF, but
It sounds fine, like on my end, like what I'm hearing.
maybe it's just because like I'm getting. Maybe it sounds echoey because I'm hearing the audio of my own voice in my headphones. I don't know. Riddle me this.
Should. Oh, we got a power play.
So I mean the Oilers. We want to start off with that. I mean, right now they're actually just entering the third period with the old lacking
Freaking-
skills. Is that what we
hate
should
LA,
call them?
man. Although I
Yeah,
will
but the
say,
abbreviation lacking.
yeah, they're definitely
LA
lacking.
Kings lacking. You see what I said? LA
Oh
Kings.
my!
Don't did you? No. I'm 20 seconds behind.
I know. You'll get
Shut
there.
it.
You'll get there. You'll see it.
Draisaitl honestly plays with a lot of extra grit. Oh, okay, yeah, I saw
Right?
it. Yeah.
Holy shit! What a
So that
shot!
1-3-1 isn't working so well now, is it, boys? You're
I
lacking
was actually
skill.
gonna say, like, they look like they've. It looks like
Maybe it's
they've kind
time to
of
go back to the
weakened.
drawing board.
Well, it looks like in this game they tried to weaken their system, or we've just exploited it really well because it hasn't seemed like they've buttoned up that zone. Plus, I think getting ahead really helps because then they can't just sit there and like hold that one goal, right?
Oh, that was a double screen too. Like the
Oh, it was gorgeous.
defender and Hyman were screening. Or no, Draisaitl. Draisaitl and
Drysdale's looking
Anderson.
really good this game.
He plays tough against the Kings. That's what I was just saying. Like he plays
That's
gritty.
because
Like
he
he goes
plays
for
like,
the
oh, come on,
hits.
Kaner, come on. Oh, it's right
17
there.
game 17 game goal drought for Kaner.
Oh, I know.
How does that happen to that guy?
I don't know.
He's Mr. Hat Trick. Like he's honestly got so many hat tricks.
I mean, it's definitely, I think with him, it's an attitude thing.
Ooh. That line is gritty AF though. Like
I really like that line.
it's like McLeod is so fast. Like he looks quick out there.
Yeah.
And then you got the two other guys that like literally take exception to nothing, and they'll throw hands, they'll drop a hit, they'll finish the check.
Well, and
Like
like, can
Perry
you
and
imagine having to be the line paired up with those two guys? Like, you would hate your life.
honestly though, like the playoffs look pretty good from like the angle.
I
Like think of the
know.
pieces that we have that we didn't have last year.
I feel a lot better about this year than last year. But also at
Like
the same time, there's teams that I know we're gonna have to play, which I mean the playoffs are so I was telling someone today, like the playoffs are so different than regular season. I mean, you could have the best regular season, i.e., Boston Bruins last year, and get bounced in the first round. So it's like, Colorado was bounced by Seattle.
it's about
Um,
adaptability then nowadays, right?
Florida got in by 1 point, and they went to the end. Like, there's just you can't base it off too much. But I mean,
It's
it's
just like
19 19
they're down
shots and
and
it's 3-0. So
but then like they outshot Ottawa by like 20 shots
oh, I know.
almost. Like how does
Well,
that fucking happen?
that's fucking Corpusalo. That guy
But
always
he's
he's
not
not the
that
greatest. No,
good.
he's not. But for
He just
some
does good
reason,
against us.
he always does good against us. Because when he was in Anaheim, Anaheim was shit. But every time we played them, he would stand up 35 shots, and I'm like, I mean,
That's
it's
why
ridiculous.
like goalies are voodoo, man. Like you if you're trying to base anything off of a goalie's performance, and this is why I don't get mad at goalies because I'm like, there's so much about what they do that is really
Yeah,
like all over the
Drysdale.
place.
Maybe if I don't know if I can like pause my feed. Oh my god!
Sportsnet doesn't really pause that well, I find, like on the app.
I know I said maybe if I can pause it.
I'm liking because like if the playoffs are about playing your rivals and like other good competitors, this game is showing me that the Oilers know how to fucking dial in stuff about their competitors. Where'd you go? Is it just me? Am I here by
No,
myself?
I was
What's going on here?
just trying to delay. Okay,
Sorry, all the
I'm
viewers
at
here that aren't here, like
okay. Shut
always
up. I'm
tired
at
is
13.
clicking
Shut up.
buttons.
I'm at 13:04. Where are you at?
12:55.
Ah, fuck. Of
You
course you'd be
paused too
further than me
long.
now.
I won't say a word. You're the one who's bad at that. You make reactions and emotional responses.
Well, yeah, it's an emotional game.
I don't know. It'd be kind of fun in the future if we get
Okay, what are you at now?
Some viewers. Maybe we watch it with the viewers.
What are you at now?
12:25.
What are you at now?
12:15.
Okay, it
I
should
mean,
be
this
pretty close now.
game's the Kings are not showing any scoring prowess. They're not really
They
doing
don't like.
much.
Who do they have? Who does the Kings have now? That's like a game breaker. Like Byfield's young. Yeah,
Byfield's
he's
pretty
having a
good though.
yeah, but he's young and he's having a good season. But he's not. He's not a game breaker. Kopitar's fucking old. Doughty looks like a pylon out there. They
Yeah,
have
Doughty's out of
Talbot.
his prime.
They got Talbot,
Why do they have
who
Talbot in? I don't understand that.
I don't know. Like he's playing. He's been playing half decent, but like their goaltending is shit. Like I would honestly like. I don't like the idea of playing LA for a third time in a row, just because
But
like
we beat them every
I
time.
know. I just feel like that makes the odds more 50-50 because it's like maybe the third time we don't bounce them just because it is the third time.
That's
I don't know.
superstition. That's not statistics.
No, it's not. It
And
feels.
outplay them, and the pieces we've added are better than the pieces that they've added, and
They didn't do
also given
anything,
us.
man.
But it's given us an advantage because they've lost like I follow because he was playing with Ottawa now.
Honestly, when they traded for Dubois and gave up Iafallo, they gave up that other guy. Uh, fuck, what was his name? There's
Obviously not
another,
that important.
but there's they basically gave like an entire line that I hated when we played them last year for Dubois, and honestly, I don't see much of this guy. Friggin' McDavid's out there beating the shit out of people too.
Yeah, I just saw the highlight, the Lafayette or whatever hit there.
Lizot.
But I mean, a guy like force equals mass times acceleration, and if you're talking the acceleration component, Drysdale's got it. He does, and he's not a small guy. Like you look at Bedard, that guy's tiny.
I know, man. Like
Like he's Yamamoto size.
I don't know how that guy's gonna hold up. To be honest,
Because that flies in the juniors and stuff, but it's so hard to do that every day when you're playing against like 220, 210 guys on average.
well, and like you see some of those
Oh,
clips of him when he was
oh,
like talking to the when he asked the ref to get out of the way, and I saw this other clip where he
yeah,
was like
the on
calling
YouTube.
for yeah, he was like calling for a pass. He was like, "Hey, hey," and then I guess like after he didn't get it passed to him, he went and asked the guy that he was calling, like, "Oh, did you hear me there?" And I'm like, first of all,
Well,
okay, yeah, you're a good hockey player, but you're
his
not
hockey
fucking
IQ is there.
yeah. But he is so. I swear he's on the spectrum because he is the most socially like he doesn't have a barometer of how to talk to people.
But McDavid honestly looks like that sometimes too. Like he's kind of just like
Well, McDavid just
zero
has the
affect
lazy eye,
answers.
but he's gotten a lot. Like this year, he's definitely.
He
I think
just like his gaffs are gone. He's ran out of
well,
gaffs.
no, I think just this year well last year and this year specifically he really I think it finally kind of clicked that he's like the spokesperson of the NHL. Like he's that guy. Like because his answers are much better. He's jokes around a little bit more. Like
What do you think he
even
was coached,
Drysaitel,
or you just got comfortable?
probably a little bit of both. Oh, what a save!
But I think you can't truly be comfortable in anything if your gaffs are high, because the second that you have gaffs that are like critical level, you start worrying about things you don't need to worry about. That's all I'm saying. Like so, like he's gotten the most goals, he's gotten like records and all this other shit. That's why I mean his gaffs have gone down because he's just like the pressure is off to perform at an individual level that's excelling. So now my goal is a team success. And it's not that it wasn't before. I'm just saying like his like the anxiety and stress that comes with performing as an individual at an expectation of that like a generational talent has is going to be very different than like
But at
already
the
having
same time,
achieved
like
that. That's in the rear view.
after having a season like he had last year, with what 160 points, 100 almost 170 points. It was kind of expected that he was gonna like even do better than that this year. Like the expectation was there that he was gonna continually build on it, and instead he decided that he's just gonna be a fucking apple orchard.
Yeah, exactly. Like apple cider
Like
factory there.
Hyman's gonna have more than double the amount of goals that he has.
But the hilarious, like, and I think I was talking about this in the group chat. Like, the guys had like what 25 goals called back. Like, at
Yeah,
least he's had that,
not this
and
year.
not all of them are legitimate callbacks either. Like, they're kind of like, we don't like that, so it's gone.
Yeah, I mean this year he hasn't had as many called back. Um,
What?
Last
Like,
year
I feel
was
like he's had a
spectacular.
ton.
No, last year was way, 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 way worse. Like last year, I think they called back. I think like between 20 and 30 goals. This year, I think he's maybe had like between 5 and 10. Oh, they just tossed him down.
Are you at 9? I'm at 9 minutes.
I'm 847,
So you went back to being
a
ahead.
little bit ahead. Yeah,
This was a like so far from everything I've seen from this game. This was a very good performance from like a shutdown, take advantage of your opportunities
yeah.
perspective. Because like the
Oh,
Oilers on the weekend when they were playing the Eastern teams, Toronto and Ottawa, they were just getting filled in at every time the other team had a chance, they would capitalize.
yeah. I mean,
And
Toronto played really well. I'll
they
definitely
came to
give it to
play.
them.
They hit them. They finished every check.
Oh man, but they were being such assholes though. Like they were, all the stuff they were doing to McDavid and Drysdale. Like I don't know how
Yeah, that
those guys
one.
play without blowing a gasket.
But where was the gritty response from the Oilers? That's the main
Yeah,
problem, right? Like they needed someone to take someone's head off, like almost like set the tone.
like all the fights that happened in the last game should have happened in Toronto. Like I don't know why, like Carrick didn't go out there and just beat the shit out of somebody. Mark. Like
They all
I
waited
don't,
until like the third period to fight too.
I don't know, but it's like you should set the tone because if
I
you know that
know
they're
it's
gonna
like
play
too
that
little, too
way,
late.
yeah, like they're being just chippy little Toronto. You can just there's an air of high, like just they think they're the best. Like you just feel that when you watch them skate, when you see the players, just the way they act is like, oh, we're number one. It's like, first of all, you're definitely not. You haven't been. You've
But
never
also, like,
won.
what is that worth nowadays, right? Like number one is the Stanley Cup winner, and if you care
Yeah.
about anything other than that, you're fucked.
Well, and they've never won more than one playoff round.
They've won contract negotiations for their top paid players. That's about
No, they
like if you're
haven't.
looking at W's, then like go for it, sure.
They haven't even won those. They're
No,
going
but
to be
the team
paying.
hasn't. The players have. Dude,
Well, the
everyone
players
there's
definitely
getting
have, yeah.
paid a pet like a pretty amount of money.
Oh, yeah.
Like they might even be able to afford a condo in Toronto with that amount of money.
Maybe even a duplex.
Man, I got a semi-attached garage with that kind of salary, 14 mil a year, and I can almost buy my house
Can buy almost a house and a car.
after taxes.
Fuck, man.
Don't even get me started.
I love the little exchange when Perry had been like hit into the bench, and then he was like skating, and then Kane came up and like pushed him, and then Perry pushed him, and
Those guys are menaces,
they
man.
like nerd circled him there.
They got road rage on the ice.
Well, and I like how they put Perry with Kane because I feel like
They can
Kane
just
can't.
stir the drink.
Well, and it's just like I feel like for Kane's kind of attitude, if he's been having a bit of an attitude problem this year, which is kind of it looks that way, then I feel like Perry can help with that because Kane can look at Perry, who's this vet. He's gotten 50 goals before. He's gotten all this. He's done everything, right? Like he's
Yeah.
won cups, he's won this, and he's playing on the fourth line because he knows that that's his best place to contribute, right?
Yeah.
Like, and it's not like Perry's a bad player. Perry's a really good player, and so if Kane sees that, he won't feel like it's as much a demotion as an opportunity. And Perry's not going to take any of his shit, right? And Kane can't really say anything to Perry. So I think it's a good spot to have those two guys together.
Well, on the ice too, like the responsibility doesn't fall it's like solely on Kane to be the tough guy. Like
Yeah.
Perry can get out there and rattle some cages, and Kane does have a scoring acumen. Like when he wants to score, and he's actually given, like he capitalizes on chances. Like he comes and goes, right. Like everything happens all at once for Kane, or it doesn't happen at all. So
Yeah.
like he gets in his head. Like he definitely has that mental aspect of the game that's like hard to manage. But like you can't blame the guy because everybody would struggle in that position because he does have reasonably high expectations out of a guy who's probably a bottom six, like a really high performing bottom six. But he like that's just unfortunately the way it goes, and especially if you're playing on the Oilers, where they got pretty good talent now. It's pretty deep. The way Kane's been playing, he's not a top six guy. Like I'm sorry, like we have top six options that are not you, but that's not
Yeah.
a bad thing. Like you're saying,
Well, it opens up your like if you're a top
fuck
performing,
34. Who's that?
I don't know, but I hate him. If you're like a top
Kaliev.
performing, like you want top guys on your third line because that gives you opportunity.
Well, that's how you win the cup now. Is you
I
don't
know.
have a top heavy team. You have a deep team. That's why the Knights are paying through the fucking nose to get guys to put on their third and fourth line because they know that it
His
doesn't
face is
come
weird.
from like scoring with only two players. It comes from shutdowns. It comes from power plays, PKs, everything. Like every component of this game is micromanaged for a win. And if you're lucky, you have a goaltender that's standing on his head, his or her head. I'm sorry, I don't want to.
You don't want to assume.
Well, not, in 92, 93, that was the first time in the NHL where a female played in the NHL. Did you know that?
When?
Called in, yeah, like a woman, whatever that is
No,
now. But
no
like
shit,
back in the
really.
day, back in 92, 93, a woman was a woman, and that's what was in that. She was like
Maybe she identified as a male
backup,
for that moment.
so no women's actually been in net.
It's too bad Skinner didn't get his freaking shutout, man.
That's really hard to get nowadays, especially like I mean, you're playing like a playoff rival. Is like what are the odds? Like 2%.
I know, but it's too bad.
Oh man, this just brings me back like how fun it was to go watch this game against the old Lackings.
Yeah, that was a good game.
We routed them that time too.
Yeah, it was similar to this, I think.
I just want Hyman to get another goal, like get 52, man. He
I
almost had
know.
that, man. You see it like the goal, like Talbot just like it just hit his shoulder right there.
I know.
It's so close.
I feel like they're playing Perry and Kane that line a lot. I feel like they're
Yeah,
out
they
there all the
do.
time
Like,
right now.
but it's a good line because you got McLeod who's got wheels and
Mm-hmm.
he knows where to be and he knows when to change too. Like he knows his role. And like obviously in a game against the Kings when you're up by 2 goals, banging them around is probably worth more than like one-on-one matches.
Yeah.
But Skinner's focused right now. Holy, like that one screenshot that he got, like, I can't remember if it was the first or second period. There's
Mm-hmm.
no way you could see that. It was lights, solar eclipse, and
Want
he
to
like
bounce like off
snags it with
three
the
different
glove.
things too.
He gloves it, and it was going in the
Yeah.
net. Like he gloved it, and it was going to be a goal. That was
Yeah.
awesome. I love to see that.
I just hate that everybody compares everything to last year, but it's like you don't realize that that was his first playoff as like what is he 23? Like,
He's a
and
big guy.
he wasn't supposed to be our 1A goalie. Like he was supposed to be a backup in the playoffs. Like I don't know how much
Well,
you can't put that on him very much.
and the other thing is too, like with Coffee as a nice, yeah, crack that shit, get that open. With Coffee as a defensive coach, we've definitely seen a lot more. I think what Coffee's been really good for is risk management because you see people like Matthias Ekholm who had 2 goals on the weekend and or even more than that maybe. And like Bouchard obviously is thriving under that.
Yeah.
But like their ability to know when to pinch and when to back up or when to take the pass or like and there's a few times where I've seen it lately and they were not doing this before. They cover the pass until the last second, and Matthias Ekholm and Evan Bouchard have both done this, and it's actually like brilliant because at the last second, it's just like a hard back skate, and you cut off the angle right at the ringette line or whatever it is, and you take the shot. So you cover the pass up until the point where passing it either has to be quick and accurate or it's not going to succeed. So like something in their brain and their process is making it so that they're weighing and measuring and reacting to these like different situations in a much better fashion. And they cut off
Well,
that shot and it's worked really well. And I don't know if it's just Matthias Ekholm and Bouchard who are like implementing that, but if you watch, you see this all the time, like lately.
yeah.
I don't know if
No, I
you've
mean,
noticed that.
there's definitely no denying that coffee has had. I would almost argue that coffee has had the biggest impact on the team, like even
Why?
more than
It's so
Knobloch,
weird. It's so weird.
because the difference between how the defense act from before, even many years before, not just the beginning of the season, but just how they were playing, even when they were playing like statistically well, but how they play in these games, it's more it's more of a, how do you say this, like not a reactionary style. It's more of a, I'm going to set it up how I want to set it up. I'm not going to set it up based on how you want me to play. Like they take that. I think the biggest thing is they take that split second or 2 seconds that they have. They don't panic with the puck. Maybe they take a couple strides to the left, open it up, and then make the play. They don't jump on it. They don't freak out. They don't panic. I mean, they're not perfect. They have times where that happens, but generally they're trying. And I know that's one of his things. Is like, if you're not going, I want you to make plays. It's all about making a play.
Yeah, and the thing that has also been good is like they have the wheels. If
Mm-hmm.
they mess it up, they can back check because like Bouchard and Ekholm are not slouches. CC's not a slouch. Kulak, he's not fast, but he's not a slouch.
No, he
Like you're
skates
seeing
well.
these guys hustle,
Mm-hmm.
and like who else is like Darren A and Nurse? Like I'm super like that defensive core in the NHL, and like everyone's like, I think people measure defense based like compare it to perfection, because like
Mm-hmm.
what Nurse, Darnay, Bouchard, Ekholm, CC, and Kulak are doing is pretty good. Like it's not perfect. And the main thing that happens and when the Oilers start losing games, and it's kind of the forward's fault as well. In a lot of ways, it is
Mm-hmm.
that random open guy that comes in. Like there's a guy sitting in the slot, or they don't back check, and like it's not the defense's fault. And everyone like looks at them like, oh, what the hell? Like you missed you didn't do it. But I'm like,
Yeah.
this is a team game, and
Well, and
these
generally it's the
things happen in
forward
half a
not covering
second.
his man. Like it's
Yeah, it happens in half a second.
Yeah, like when those guys are open in the slot, that's not generally the defense, because there's one guy in the corner and then there's a guy in front of the net. That defense shouldn't be in the high slot, because then the net's open, right? Like that's your
Not if their
winger's
zone
position.
coverage is their strategy, right?
Yeah, like that's the winger's position. So if they're out of position, that's where that guy comes in open.
That's what I've seen. Like I've seen Nurse. Like I'm super impressed with Nurse this year.
Yeah,
In
no,
all
he's been good.
reality, he's been one of the most consistent defensemen. He's not
Hmm.
afraid to drop the gloves. he's made some brilliant pass blocks. Like people don't give him credit for that, but he gets in the way a lot. He blocks shots, and he's got wheels. He's not
I
gonna.
do
Maybe he's
think
not gonna score as many as Bouchard because he's not on the number one power play. But like,
CCs are definitely our weakest defensemen.
but the thing is, you don't even know when he's out there. Like he doesn't. He's not really a minus guy.
eh,
He's not really a plus guy.
yeah, he is. Like I think that like him and Nurse together are. Yeah, they play most minutes, so look. I mean, the stats are kind of skewed because of that.
And who should Nurse play with?
I actually didn't mind him with Darnay. Like,
Is that what's going on now? Like, is
no,
it Kulak and Darnay?
do they pull? Oh, they pulled the goalie. Let's get an empty netter, boys. Come on.
Let's get Hyman 52 on an empty net. Bang it off his teeth. I'm liking Fogel's play.
I love it. I'm scared
He's
if
hustle.
because it's contract year, right? Like we have to sign him.
He already gets paid like I think 2 mil.
Yeah, but with the way he's playing there now, he could probably get like 4. I mean, I hope
But that's
if we
you got to
don't
get
win the
trade him for
playoffs.
something good.
Well, I hope if we don't win the playoffs, if we go deep or if we do in the playoffs, he signs here for a bit of a deal because he thinks he can do it again.
But then what does he do? Like sign like a 2-year contract
Yeah,
for like 3
something
mil?
like that. Yeah.
But then we got to offload something. I know the
Mm,
cap goes up, but it's like
we might. I think we have. Honestly, if we can do something with Campbell, that's kind of our biggest. That's our biggest hole of money.
what if Campbell comes back and is this lights out tender?
I know.
Because like
I just
he was
you
good in
can
the
never.
playoffs, like we looked at last time. Like he was
But he was
good.
good. He was good coming in relief in the playoffs.
But maybe that's all we need him for. Like if
No, I don't
Skinner,
like.
honestly, this year is if he's doing well, he does well. If he's like sucks, pull him, get him out of there because he's not gonna recover.
No, like I
Like that's
guarantee
almost been the
you.
way it goes.
I guarantee you. Guarantee you. As soon as the playoffs start, Campbell will be up with the team. Like he'll either be ready to go, he'll be on
Taking
call. He
Picker's
either be
place.
no. Like we'll have 3 goalies.
Can you roster 3 tenders and not like
Well,
I thought you had like a 20 some. What's the maximum
no,
number of
like he
people on
can
your
be ready
roster?
for like an emergency. Like I don't know what it is with the goaltenders, but like he'll be ready to go. Like he'll be because Holloway will come up for sure before the playoffs. He'll be or for the
But what?
playoffs because the
Why for
cap's not a
sure?
thing, right? Like you can have all these guys ready to go because you don't have to worry about the cap. So I would bet that Campbell comes up and is ready to go. Like if in the if something happens with Skinner, if something happens with Pickard, Campbell's gonna be our guy.
I actually don't mind that though. Like I
No, it's
feel like he's
actually
had a whole year to get calm and settled, and like
yeah,
he was good in the playoffs when he wasn't.
yeah,
And in theory, he should be even better.
should be. Fuck you, Kopitar.
What did he score? Don't tell me.
No, no, he shot the puck. I hate him.
You just don't like when he shoots.
No, Dubois, you're not Drysdale, you piece of shit.
They're actually like have like if you're just watching like this last little section here, like they're not playing bad zone defense.
No,
Like
they're playing
some
pretty good.
when they get caught and they get scored on, they're playing shitty zone defense. Like and everyone's puck watching. And that's like Oilers of like the decade of darkness is where there's zero defensive acumen and everyone's just puck watching like it's fucking initiation.
It's like, oh, that's a nice spot for the puck to be at. Oh, that's a nice spot. Oh, that's
Yeah, like
good.
I think Black Rubber. I think I'll watch that fly around real quick. Maybe I'll even do a little voice change for that.
What do we got here? Oh yeah, let's watch the puck. That's my Christian Freeland voice. Sorry.
Well, that's actually pretty close.
We're back. Man, that lady's and
She's so annoying.
she should
The
lick a
whole
fucking 9-volt battery and just go for it.
she's just like a car battery.
No, I don't want her to. I don't want her to kick the bucket. I just want her to get a little,
No, that wouldn't.
little
That
correction, little
no,
reset.
that wouldn't kill you. That would just really wake you up.
Did you know that she wrote a book on the evils of the WEF before she was the finance minister, and then she's fully in bed, like literally tickling toes with Klaus Schwab. Like this
Uh,
is what happens to people that enter. Like it's a function of time. You're
I
like
hate it,
cheese in
man.
the fridge. Maybe you're fresh when they put you in there, but sooner or later, you end up with some mold and you open the container or whatever the fuck you're in, and nobody wants to like clear the room. Let's go. This cheese is bad. Throw it in the compost. And like I think pretty much everyone, the liberals, at this point is that status.
Oh yeah,
They've been in the fridge too long.
Trudeau is. So, I just can't get over the whole like carbon tax. His math on that and like
Well, if
how
I
much.
take more money from you, then I give back more money. That means you make money. But I'm like, well, what did Polyev said? He's like, well, somehow there's a surplus of over 2 billion already. So where does the math
Oh,
work out?
so close.
Oh, what am I watching like an icing attempt here or what? Oh, off the board bank. That was crazy.
Icing's been called. Yeah, that should be icing.
Nurse is like, what the fuck? Did somebody touch it? Oh yeah, he did touch it.
It went like right through him.
No, he touched it.
Oh! There it is. Who was it?
Wait, what?
Go.
What? For those of
CC.
us who are watching, and it's probably just me, but like I mean, always tired is giving away the plot here.
CC
CC?
got it. Yeah.
Speak of the devil, here we go. I mean, I like the guy. Like he's just there.
He's just.
He's a guy who punches a time card and
But
that's
he
it.
makes the most mistakes out of all the defensemen.
But think of the NHL, man. The defenseman pool is not that deep. Like you're either paying like 5 or 9 mil like Nurse for somebody who does slightly less mistakes, but maybe has more payoff. Like getting a guy at CC's price that does what CC does, you
Man,
have
I
to
could
think
have
of it
done
that
that.
way.
I could have done
You
that.
could have, but you didn't, and you're not there. So shut the fuck up.
My parents weren't rich or Jewish.
I don't think CC's parents were rich either. Nobody named
No, but
CC
you know
is
that.
rich.
Have you heard about that though?
The Hyman thing,
Yeah.
that was horse shit.
that guy got
You got
so
flamed.
lit.
You got lit on fire.
Like Frank Saravalli, who's like the head of the sports writers for NHL. He's on Oilers
Even
Nation all the
Spit and
time.
Chicklets got on that too.
Yeah, but he was like so pissed. He was like, "I'm so tired of this. I'm gonna call it out every single fucking time." Like he was just like, "This is ridiculous."
What did CC or Whitney was like? All right, like every time I see Hyman score, I'm just gonna remember his parents are rich. And then
Yeah,
other
it's
people
like,
are saying
oh,
like he should just go into the stadium wearing a top hat, a monocle, and like a suit just to rub it in.
yeah, gold bracelet, gold this. Like he should just
I've
lean
seen like
into it.
look at Trudeau. His parents are fucking rich. What's that guy's net worth? 1.5 or 150 mil or some bullshit. Just because you're rich doesn't mean you can't fuck shit up. Like
Yeah.
holy, you still have to work hard. And like of all the guys that I would think were rich on the Oilers, Hyman's not the guy I would think. Like he's full of humility. Humility. That
Oh,
guy.
he's well, and the
You
funny
watch him
thing
with
is,
the Stelter kid, like holy
oh yeah,
smokes, he's just like a bundle of joy. That guy, like he's as close to Santa Claus as we get,
he's
honestly.
literally the nicest guy.
But he's rich, so write him off.
And he
Everything
got
he's
50
done is
goals.
not his fault.
Yeah, and it's like, and people made so many like retorts to that because it's like, okay, well, why didn't Mike Comrie get 50 goals then? Why? And also, he's the oldest of 5 brothers. and he's the only one that went to the NHL. The other guys didn't make it. So it's like,
Also,
what
you
are you
have to be
saying?
rich. You have to be rich to get into the NHL now.
Oh man, it's a well-known fact that it's not a cheap game. Like you think
No, it's like half of.
McDavid's parents that were loaded, and all right, it's like it's a dumb argument to make to like lessen his motivational part of like you work hard, stuff can happen, right?
Yeah. No, that was an interesting take, and it was not accurate. And the guy paid for having that opinion. But like, I'm glad he made it public because that gives people a reason to know that the
he
guy's an
got
idiot.
he got so lit up. Oh, that was hilarious. First of all, it's like, how can you possibly do this to like legit the nicest guy?
Like, nice try, man. Like, that's your 15 seconds of fame, and it was because you nose dived into your own opinion. Like, good
Yeah,
job.
I don't
What an
know.
absolute putz. It's like saying that any golfer that's ever won the PGA did it because they were rich. Yeah, of course they were fucking rich. They're in the PGA, you dumbass. Like, there's no other way to do it.
Yeah, it's like none of these guys were like broke. Although they did make a cool point of, I guess Nugent Hopkins when he was like 15, he had to give up playing hockey for a year because his parents couldn't afford it. And then the year following that, he was drafted number one.
But it wasn't Hyman.
Exactly.
I mean, at a certain point, yeah, there's an amount of money that lets you play the game, but you can be dog shit even if you're on the ice. Like, that's a
Yeah.
known fact. Like, money doesn't make you good.
No. I mean, it gives you opportunity to.
It puts you on the ice. That's all it does.
Well, and there's no denying that having money would afford you the opportunity some people wouldn't. Maybe you didn't have to work and you could, work out all the time and play hockey all the time. Like, there's definitely, it goes without saying that there is like stuff that you can get that other people won't. But at the end of
But
the
it's
day, if you don't want it and if you're not going to try and get it and if you're not going to work hard for it, it's not going to matter how much money you have.
well, the interesting fact is like, if you're not supposed to provide advantages for your kid, then what the fuck is the point?
Mm-hmm.
Die in the pile of money and bury it with you?
Yep.
Like, and if everybody's talking about like, oh, these minorities and everyone else needs to build generational wealth, and if you critique people from benefiting from generational wealth, then what's the point? Like, you're talking out of both sides of your mouth. Like, there's no advantage to creating an opportunity for your children if your children, they do have the opportunity to squander it, for sure. There are
Mm-hmm.
people out there who have had every opportunity and they fold.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's just like, are we cheering on people for working hard and providing things for their kids that they would not have gotten on by their own?
Jeez,
Or are we just like,
McDavid had 2 assists. What's he at now?
he's in the 90s, isn't he? Like, I thought he was pretty close to 100.
Like just a casual 3-point night.
Yo, Skinner's duster is amazing. I wish my duster was that good. That guy's got an
It's,
absolute like
it's,
Home Depot
it's so
industrial
good.
mop.
I saw this thing where like they asked AI to like combine some of the players and asked them, who they were asking the players who they thought the two people were, and they combined Skinner with Hyman, and so Hyman had this big old duster.
Just big dusty. Well,
Yeah.
and if you look at like Sidney Crosby's duster, which is like a pencil liner on the top of his lip for like the first 8 years of his career. I mean, how many times we got to fill the LA Kings in before they realize they're not good?
They're not good, man.
They hang
Like
on
I
by the
feel,
skin of their teeth every single time.
well, and I think one of the huge differences is getting that first goal on them because then they can't play their like super trappy game.
But who's Quicks are still their tender, right? Like, why was Talbot in net? Were they on a back-to-back or something?
I don't know.
Because usually Quick has our number. Like we got a quick goal, but I'm pretty sure it's because it was Talbot.
I feel like this isn't updated here.
I don't know, man. It was a good game. Every time we watch the third period in the podcast here, we win. Is it a trend? I mean,
Some say.
I have scheduled this as a Thursday night thing. So, I mean, hopefully at least every Thursday night we can get a session. But I think as we get closer to the Oilers playoffs, like it's going to be, maybe we need to do different shows where we're talking about like hockey and other things because like the Oilers are going to be pretty interesting going into the playoffs. And that's coming up pretty quick. We got one more month left at most. How many games do they have?
Well, and the nicest thing is that this game was a big 4-point swing.
Like creating some space?
Yeah, because Vegas, or not Vegas,
Who else is in the race here?
LA was 3 points behind us. So now we're 5 points ahead.
Well, let's see what the calendar has here too. I'm not gonna.
Trying to
Maybe I'll
see
switch.
what
Maybe I'll switch the other scene here.
I don't. Is the Vegas and Winnipeg game over?
Who do I have on here? Shit.
Must be over.
Oh, you're
Ooh.
right here. What the fuck?
No, I don't want Vegas to win. Oh fuck! Vegas won.
Yeah, they were up what 4-something.
4-1, yeah.
Mother truckers.
But that also means that it's the Jets' 5th loss in a row.
Which is good because they're kind of like in a similar bucket as we are. Not a similar bucket, but they're like close.
I don't think they've updated McDavid's stats. It says he only has 119 points here, but
Hang on a sec. I'm trying to load the window here. But if I don't have the window at the right aspect ratio, it looks weird. Wish you could just make windows look the right aspect ratio. There we go. Okay, hang on.
it doesn't just like automatically do it.
Well, I switch views like this because it's different scenes, but then there's the aspect ratio is kind of odd. It has to be kind of widescreen. So I did refresh this. So a 4-1 win. Cookie. Let me get rid of this stuff. I hate how you have to opt out of cookies. Just leave me alone. So March, we have one more game on against the Ducks. We got a nice matinee there on Saturday, which maybe we should check in on.
That should
And then
be, should be an easy one. Should be, but definitely won't count it out though.
Only 10 more games left.
Yeah, not much, man. April 20th is the first day of playoffs.
Play the Yotes twice. We play the Avs twice. Play Vegas again, which we haven't played since they broke our streak. So that'd be nice to watch them win that. And that is a Wednesday game. But they're going to have a nice bit of rest. They got 2 back-to-backs on the Friday, Saturday showtime. And then they got a 3-day rest.
Arizona got up on Nashville. What? 5-3?
Somebody's got to beat them.
But Arizona?
Yeah, well, it happens. That sound effect is so good.
The Flames are so sad, man. I feel so bad.
They don't even know how to rebuild. That's the problem. Like at least the like the Blackhawks, I guess they can call them the Shithawks now. Like know how to lose.
Like you gotta commit to losing. Like
You do. You gotta just fall. Like everyone said, like the Oilers should fall for Hall. Like fall for. You gotta burn. You gotta
well,
burn
you
the
don't want to
bridge.
be like in that muddy middle where you get nothing. Like, and nobody wants to play in Calgary. Sorry, like yeah, okay,
Holy!
you have a rink set to get a new rink, but
Every, everybody in the East has clinched a playoff spot. The top two teams in each div have clinched already.
yeah, I mean, look at the spread of points though.
That's what I mean, though. Like the Western Conference is such a more competitive conference.
Yeah, it is.
Like our worst player, our worst team is the San Jose Sharks at 40, and they're still better than the Shithawks, I think. Or no, wait, where are the Shithawks? Where are they? Am I missing
Shouldn't
something?
be. Yeah, just go up one. Shouldn't they be in that one? Keep going.
No, they should be. They shouldn't even be on the on the list. Where are they? Oh, here. So they're still they're. I guess as bad as
Wow,
they are, they're better than
7
San
points
Jose.
up on San Jose still. Jeez. Man, look at those losses. 48 losses to 16 wins. Oof. Minus the goals for and goals against spread are minus 135.
You know what's funny though is like Oilers fans were watching the Oilers at that same distribution for like
Oh man,
10
the Flames are on
years.
a 5-game skid too.
Yeah, the Flames have been
Yikes.
brutal. And the Preds, I guess
Nashville.
their sixth streak is over.
They've been lighting it up, man.
Or they lose in overtime, so it's still I don't know what it does to their streak. Still lost, isn't it?
Yep.
But so wait, how are they at 90 points and Vegas is still is it because they would be in the Central?
Maybe.
That doesn't make any sense. How is Nashville in Central?
I honestly don't know how the
Oh, it is
whole thing works.
it's because Nashville is in the Central Div, so they have a higher points total than the Vegas Golden Knights, but they somehow are still only in a wild card spot.
Hmm. And LA's in a wild card spot.
But they're still 3 points back from Nashville.
Oh, I didn't know Vegas jumped over. Yeah, Vegas jumped over LA now.
With 2 points.
Shit.
Because
Okay, so
Kings
as it
just
is now,
lost.
we'd play Vegas.
I'd rather get them out of the way first, though.
I know people are
Although
saying
they're
like, I
going to
don't know
be
if I want
bringing
to
Mark
face them
Stone
first.
back.
If I
His spleen
swear,
injury is going to miraculously heal.
I swear, if he's back game one, like there will be riots.
Of course he'll be, man. Of course he'll be. What's the point?
Do you just remember last year when it was like a week before the playoffs started, and it was like, oh, Mark Stone's on the ice, he's skating, he's like, oh yeah, he's on. Wow, what a
Didn't he
recovery!
have like a leg injury at last? Or no, he had a back injury.
No, his back.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
like a career-ending back injury.
Yeah, probably like putting too many copies in the photocopier and he just like picked up 20 pieces of paper instead of 10. That guy, I wonder what that conversation's like in the GM's office. Like, hey, Mark, are you injured? Oh, no, guys, I'm not. I'm feeling pretty good. Let's go.
Are
No,
you
Mark,
injured?
are you injured? And they're like, actually, sorry. Yeah, I guess my spleen. All right, let's get him a
It's
doctor's
just
note. Let's go.
it's such a weird injury.
Like, how many different types of organs is he gonna damage? Like a lung injury, like a appendix injury. Like, what's next?
Right?
A tailbone, a coccyx. His
Fucking
coccyx is busted.
baseball now.
Fell on his ass.
Now they're playing some baseball highlights. Oh, look,
I
a
guess
guy
the
hit
only
a
sport
ball.
you can play without sweating.
It's it's so bad.
No, I'm not like not to knock anybody who likes watching it, but like I'm pretty sure it's the only sport you can play without sweating.
Oh, 100%. It's the only sport you can
Like,
be a
did you see that guy
professional at.
walk across?
Yeah, he's
Like, you
just
hit a
like,
home run and you're just like basically like walking the same speed you would if a car's approaching the crosswalk and you're already in it. Like, basically that's it. You're just kind of a little hustle, maybe the hands up and you got 2 seconds left. You're kind
yeah.
of putting a little effort into it. That's it.
Like, I'll hand it to these guys know how to play
Oh, we
with their
got him.
balls.
Ball fondlers. That'd be a great name for a baseball team. The ball fondlers.
Well, that's a slow pitch name for sure.
We're gonna do a slow pitch team this summer.
Jesus.
All
How many
the
fucking home runs
couples
did these guys hit?
enough
That guy
to
just
win.
creamed it center. Okay, I mean, it's some of the stuff they do is impressive. Like, that guy literally hit the ball center field out.
Yeah, he's got a
That's
cork in it.
insane.
Always tired, can't do that. No, sorry, wrong button. There he is. Yeah, everyone's going for him. Man, so like, so what?
Fucking earring.
I guess we're approaching the hour mark here. So that was. What do we want to do here? Should set up the. When are you free next? I mean, not tomorrow, but 2 days from now, there's a game.
Yeah, Saturday I'll probably be working during the day, so I don't know if I'll be able to be there for that game. When's the next game? Is it on Monday?
We were just looking at that.
Yeah, but I didn't remember.
All right, well, I guess we're going back to the sketty.
Back to the sketty.
March 30th is the Ducks at 2 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time.
But then, what's the next one after that?
Want to buy some flights?
Nope.
April
Monday.
1st,
Yeah, Monday it's
April Fool's, Carbon Tax Day. Let's go.
Probably do that.
23%. Check your rebate. You're going to get so much money in your bank account. You're basically getting paid to do nothing. Welcome to the future. Welcome to the future, Canada. You're getting money in a rebate.
I just love how that's his like rebuttal to like how could you possibly suggest scrapping the carbon tax? You're taking money from the Canadians because then they won't get the rebate. And I'm like, what? That is your argument?
A rebate is something you get if you
Because
have
you
the
got
choice to
something
buy
taken.
something. Yeah, you've already bought something, and usually you have the choice to buy it or not. But the carbon tax is special because it does not give you the choice. You wanna not have a frozen solid house? I guess that's up to you. Anyways, let's pencil something in. Maybe we can get special guest in on the show at some point. You know, always tired doesn't want it. At Walker. Why is your phone right in front of the camera? Your Cyclops is there.
3 eyes, actually. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Cyclops is 3 eyes. Actually, that's not true. A Cyclops would be a one-eyed beast. But I think we're no longer in the days of a single lens camera.
No.
At least not a phone camera. All right, man. The Oilers win. Kings suck. Lacking skill.
Ass.
Lacking talent.
They're so bad. I hate them
Lacking
so
ability.
much.
Lacking a defensive strategy that works.
I'm so glad we beat them twice in a row there.
Well, hope they get dusted. Going to dustbin of history. Good luck getting out of
I
that.
can't wait for it to be like some different teams we play against for the playoffs. Like not just the freaking Kings in Vegas. Like it's getting tiring of seeing the same teams over and over and over.
Well, it's not going to be the Sharks. I'll tell you that for free.
No, they're pretty bad.
When, like, I mean, where was this? Like, who else could we even play?
I guess Seattle's up there.
Like Seattle, Calgary, Ducks, San Jose.
Yeah, I think the Ducks are a ways off for being competitive too.
Like the first round's always going to be at least one of these guys. The Canucks first round would be interesting.
We're only 6 points back from the Canucks.
But they have like an artificial amount of points. 4 points from the OT loss and a win.
Yeah, they only have
So like
one
they
more
lost
win
4
than
games.
us.
They won one more game than us. Like, okay, cool. You guys are so good. Like, pat yourselves on the back.
Yeah, like that's not really that crazy, really.
And like goals for, we have more. Goals against, we actually are pretty good here too. But we have slightly more than the knuckleheads. So we're a little bit better this year at winning close games, which is what we need to be because that's what the playoffs are, is winning close games. And I like that. I don't. It's hard. I'm hard pressed to say that we can win the cup this year, but holy shit, if we make it into the conference final, wow.
It'll be fun.
I think it's time to start saving money so we can get a game ticket. You know, at least one.
You need like $1,000.
But how sick, man! You're kind of a piece of history. You know, Edmonton Oilers history at that point. And then if you're there at the game they lose, you can riot. You can just burn down White Ave,
Flip some cars
like everyone
over.
else. Huh?
Flip some cars over.
Yeah, man.
Sounds fun.
Set it on fire. Light it up.
Lit.
Light it up. All right, man.
Well,
Let's call it a night. Yeah, we'll tee up the next one. Sweet.
Always tired is tired.
Episode 7. Here we go. Coming down. Let's go. Let's just cue up the music. Here we go. You ready? You ready?
Give her
ready.
shit.
All right, here we go.
Yep.